Welcome, guys, back to the I Love Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, as always, Justin Woolwine, and today we are welcome with Erik Dennis. How we doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm excited. I just realized, actually, as I clicked the record button, that you may be my first um, pro wrestler out of the California area. Talked to people in
Oh, okay.
Colorado and Arizona. I think as far as Vegas, but never California. So this might be a first.
Oh, there we go.
I'm excited. Before we dive into your wrestling career, fandom, all those fun things, all your accomplishments, things like that, would you like to shout out your social medias just to let everybody know where they can find the latest Erik Dennis news?
Yeah, absolutely, man. My social medias are most Eric, sorry, Badman Pro Wrestler on TikTok and Instagram.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Simple. Um, I'm going to start at the same place I start every podcast. Um, when did you find professional wrestling, and what about it made you fall in love?
Yeah, man. So I grew up, I mean, I can't remember when I started watching wrestling.
Okay.
Um, I can definitely remember some of the earlier storylines I was very invested in. Um, a lot of the early 2000s ruthless aggression era stuff was really um, what really like caught my attention. That's the generation I grew up with. So John Cena's and Lesnar's and all them. So actually, that's a little. I guess it was ruthless aggression.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's when I grew up watching it. So and I can't remember exactly when, but it's always been there. My mom says I used to watch wrestling with my grandpa when I was a baby and a kid and stuff. So um, but it really was like probably around like middle school age where it really kind of became my personality. Um, I was super like everything was wrestling. Like um, my mom would save up some money and buy the pay-per-views every month, and it was a big deal because we were on welfare and food stamps and stuff. So when she would buy the pay-per-views for me to watch, man,
It
that
was a
was her
treat.
like really treating me. So that was cool. But yeah, so grew up watching it, really fell in love with it, fell in love with the characters. My heroes growing up were Jeff Hardy, Shawn Michaels, and John Cena. Um, and yeah, I kind of fell away for a little while, somewhere in high school. You get that whole like, oh, you still watch wrestling? You still watch wrestling?
Yeah.
And so then I let it get to me and I stopped, which is crazy. If there's anything like any message I can like give to anybody from this is like just because people judge your passions or your dreams, don't don't let that affect your opinion of it. Don't let that because like I missed some stuff, dude. Like I missed AJ coming to WWE. I missed Edge vac- vacating the title and all that stuff. Like I watched all that on the back end because I let these people like affect the way I viewed wrestling. Um, but early 20s, flipping through the channels one day and I saw SmackDown on. I put it on and I just realized I was like, man, I'm a grown adult. Like, I don't care what nobody thinks. So I started watching it again and instantly it became like my biggest passion again. Um, and yeah,
What what about that SmackDown and what you were seeing on TV, like some of the new characters and things like that? What drew you back in?
I think it was just a reminder that I needed. I think I was already there. Like I think I was
Okay.
all I needed was for it to be put back in front of my face. Um, I couldn't even tell you what was like what time frame was. Um, but yeah, man, I remember just flipping through and I saw it. I'm like, oh, dude, like I
Okay.
how have I not like my I used to get the WWE magazine every month, and my roof in my bedroom was like wall to wall the little rip out posters that they came. I had them
Yep.
taped to the roof in my like, and I was able. I'm like, man, I went from being that much of a mark to like not watching it at all. And like, so just seeing it like put back in front of my face, I think really like woke that up again. So,
Absolutely. Seeing as how you are a John Cena fan, how have you felt about his final year so far?
oh, I love it, dude. I'm having so much fun. Um, I have a, I, my, actually, let me show you, if you can see it. My screensaver, dude, like on my phone, that's my son right
Okay.
there throwing an absolute like meltdown fit because when John Cena won the title at WrestleMania, he like, oh, dude, it was crazy.
It
My
crushed him.
wife got a my wife got a little pissed just because he like overreacted a little bit, but like inside, I was like, oh, dude, he's a wrestling fan for life now.
Yes.
Like that's those moments, those reactions. I tell people all the time, like when I was a kid, it was Edge. I hated Edge. I wanted Edge to
Yes.
die. Like I
I
couldn't
hated him
stand
so
the
much
guy.
as a kid.
And now as an adult, I look back and I'm like, he's probably the biggest reason I'm still a pro wrestling fan is because he was the reason I was so emotionally invested because he was the bad guy because I wanted to see John Cena beat him. Um, and so that's kind of it's those like so when that seeing that especially because for me it was definitely the reverse. Like I wanted to see John Cena win, and
Mhm.
now for my son and his generation, they were crushed when he won, and I'm like, it's complete crazy like reaction, but it worked, and it's so much fun seeing it. Um, and you could tell he's just having a blast right now. Um,
Absolutely.
um, I did think the face turn was a little weird. He just
It
kind
came
of
out of
like,
nowhere.
yeah, he just kind of like, I'm over my shit, so I'm gonna be, oh, sorry, I don't know.
You're good.
But
Say
he's
what you
just
need
like,
to.
but he's like, oh, I'm over it. I'm gonna be a good guy again. I'm here for you guys again. I'm like, what? Okay. But then seeing I mean, obviously they wanted him face so that he could face Lesnar, face and heel.
Yep.
So I get that. Like, I'm like, once I saw Lesnar come out, I'm like, oh, okay,
It makes
I
sense.
understand. But but yeah, so I'm having a blast with it. I think he is too. So it's fun to watch. So
The crazy thing about the Cena face turn, it's crazy even saying those words, but the Cena face turn is like it happened in such a nonchalant way, but I feel like
hmm
only Cena could have delivered that moment or that turn in that way. Like, you know
oh
what? I'm
yeah,
just going to be face again. And everybody's like, okay, we'll go with it. Because usually us as fans are way too smart for that. We're like, nah, you can't just, you called us all these names. Like, you're not going to just come back into our good graces because you decided to. But Cena did. And we was all like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go with it.
yeah. I feel like a good example of the reverse is like Kevin Owens, because anytime they turn Kevin Owens face again, it's always got like everyone's like, really? Is he really like
Is he really a bad
um
guy? Because he makes sense.
but then now you see like but yeah, John Cena, he's John Cena, because he's if it was anybody else, man, there'd be that little bit of like, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't think it's true. I was
Absolutely.
hoping to see the Cody heel turn, but
That I
that,
swear,
that'll
and like
come. That'll come soon.
it's funny that you bring that up because I keep bringing it up to my siblings. They didn't watch Ring of Honor Cody at all,
hmm
and that's my favorite version of Cody Rhodes because he was there was no way to like Ring of Honor Cody Rhodes. Like he was the
hmm
worst person on the planet. So like I can't wait for that version. And I know everybody's like Homelander Cody. I don't want Homelander. I want Ring of Honor, like Kiss the Ring Cody Rhodes back, but on a WWE
hmm
level because I think it would be insane.
Oh yeah.
Um, you know, you talked about stepping away from it and then you find your way back to it, watching, flipping through the channels. What then makes you decide to take that leap from being a fan and watching it to start training?
Yeah. So I'm keep shouting this guy out. I because I just had another interview last week, and I same question, like um what got you into what made you want to pursue it, you know? And I gotta say, like, I mean, as a kid, it was like every single person in my family was like, "Oh, Erik, he wants to be a wrestler when he grows up." Like, um, but then I was on Facebook back in 2023, I want to say, because I started training in May of 2023. Um, but I was on Facebook or Instagram or something, and I saw one of my friends from high school. Um, his name is he's a wrestler on the California scene as well, named Lo Devereaux. Um, Absolutely phenomenal. Um, Me and him are gonna face each other at Jackrabbit Brewing in West Sac on the 22nd. I'm looking
Okay.
forward to that match because I've been wanting to wrestle him for a long time. We've known each other since high school. Um, but yeah, I saw he was posting about his making his pro wrestling debut at Next Level, and I was juiced when I saw that. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. He's actually wrestling, like, because it's one of those dreams you don't like. People don't actually pursue. Like, it's like one of those things that people think are like childish or like one of those.
Exactly.
Much like I'm very close um, to doing myself was just give up on. Um, and seeing him do that and going to the show, and then during the intermission they plugged their training school, and when I heard that I'm like, shit, dude, if he's doing it, like I should try it out too, man. Like I should at least like, I mean, if I don't try I'll never know, you know. So
Exactly.
um yeah, so once again giving him his flowers, Lo Devereaux. He's the reason that he inspired me because I saw him do it and I was like, well, I want to try too. So,
What was the training process like for you?
um, yeah. So initially, I was being trained by Tony Vargas. He was the head coach at Next Level Pro Wrestling Academy. Owner is Justin Caton. Um, I was being trained by Tony Vargas and El Flaco Loco. Um, and yeah, just I mean, show up and train, learn the basics, you know, like uh and I trained with them for the first. I trained for a little while, a little bit longer than most of the guys that I trained with before debuting. Um, Partly because I wasn't there. Like, I still like every single time I watch one of my matches back, I'm like, am I ready? Like, is this right? So I'm very critical of what I put out. Um, so I'm constantly trying to get better and trying to learn. But yeah, so they do their training. I was going twice a week, um, but then also like physically, I looked very different at that time. I didn't work out or eat as well as I do now. Um, so for a while, it was just the training, and then it became the training and the outside of training, like everyday stuff, working out every day, eating, hitting my macros, things like that. So yeah, so the past couple of years, and it's gotten to the point where it's kind of my favorite thing. Like my my self-care time is when I'm exercising or when I'm in the ring practicing and getting better. Um, so yeah, it was really cool because not only was it like I was chasing a dream by going to the training and like, oh, I want to be a pro wrestler, but also like it really was good for my just overall health and happiness as well. Um, because yeah, I mean it's important. Um, I don't even know if I answered your question.
You did, yeah.
Okay.
Just to, I guess, carry on with that. What did the conversations look like leading up to you making your in ring debut?
Mm. It was actually kind of like just full transparency. There was a little bit of frustration. Um,
Okay.
along the way, getting up to the point. Um, because like I said, a lot of people that I trained with were debuting before me. Um, and like I'm a huge believer that like comparison is like the killer of joy. Um, so I try really hard not to do that. But I mean, everybody deep down somewhere does just a little bit, you know? So seeing the guys I came up with debuting before me and stuff definitely add a little bit of frustration. And then when I would talk to my the promotion owner, um, I'd just be like, what do I need? What am I missing? Things like that. The the feedback would be good, but it would come across as like almost like I think the reception, my receiving of the message, it felt kind of vague, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
so I was really my direction, I was like, well, shoot, I don't know what exactly you want from me to get there. Um, but then as students, we're allowed to do the charity shows and things like that, just not the televised show. Um, so we would do these charity shows, and like most of them are battle royal spots, things like that. But I got the chance to do a match with one of my other guys, Judas Day. Um, we had a match at a charity show for the city, and um, I don't know what it was. I think it's part of it's because my family was in the audience, and they really um, the audience was hot, and I think it really something about like that audience and having people I care about in that audience and like wanting to do well for them. We had a I'm not gonna say a good match, but we had a decent match. Um, and then I went to the back, and my promoter looked at me. He's like, "All right, I liked what I saw, and let's debut you in a couple months." So that was cool. I technically debuted a little bit earlier. um, we had somebody we had a no show on one of our on our I debuted officially in November of last year, but I had a match in October of last year because somebody no showed. So um, one of our female wrestlers, Christina Von Erie, um, she didn't have an opponent, so my promoter put a luchador mask on me. It's funny because the guys they're doing the Grande Americano gimmick on WWE right now.
Hmm.
Um, and the guys are like, "Oh, they're stealing your gimmick," because it was an American flag lucha mask that he put on me, had me go out to Real American, like, and
That's
just
fine.
like, I was just supposed to be some nobody, answered a call out and got squashed by a 120-pound, just a little funny spot. Um, halfway through the match, the mask fell off. And so like people are like, "Oh, I know that guy," and so we had to spin it a little bit when I officially debuted the next month, but it was all good. Definitely learning experiences, and like even having that match with Christina, like she's awesome, and I learned a lot just from that little squash match that I had with her. So, um, but yeah, so the conversation leading up to the debut, there was some frustration. Um, but I definitely think it happened when it needed to happen. Um, I don't think it was I was ready when I thought I was ready initially, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, like I said a little while ago, even honestly, up until probably like 2 months ago, it still wasn't really clicking. Like um, I wasn't really putting on decent matches. I don't think. Um, but a couple months ago, it just I don't know what happened, what changed, but all of a sudden it just something clicked, and now every time I go out there, I'm feeling a lot more confident. I am feeling um, more comfortable working the crowd. I'm remembering spots, and even when I don't remember, my biggest thing that held me back for the longest time is worrying about hitting the spots, because um, I mean it's 2025. The kayfabe's kind of
Out the door.
yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not a like I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm also not going to fight it just because. Like, um, plus, if you fight it too much, like how are you going to get over on social media and things like that? And like, so, but no, one of my biggest hangups up until my very recently is uh just deer, like the deer in the headlights thing. Like I would forget what we had talked about doing and freeze. And um my coach Tony would tell me all the time, like he could see it on my face when I forget a spot or messed up a spot, um, because either I would freeze or I would look like mad at myself because I messed up. And so, very up until recently, I've gotten a lot better about that, a lot more comfortable with like improvising on the fly, things like that. Um, so, um, yeah, in a roundabout way, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, how important would you say next level is to you, personally?
oh man, so it's it's my home, dude. Like next level, the roster, they're all my boys. Pretty much just about everybody that I came up with, like training there, is now debuted as well, and so most of the shows are made up with of like next level students now, people that I've trained with and spent like tons of time with, gone road trips with, things like that. And so like it's definitely once a month when we have our show, it's definitely a high for me. It's definitely a highlight of the month for me. Um, Last month we had our cage show, which was our season finale, and every single match is in the cage. I wrestled for the heavyweight title, and it was just really good time. Everybody did really good. The vibes were up, and it was yeah, man. Next level will always have a special place in my heart. Next level and Ugly Dojo. That's where I train now. So now those are my boys too, and it's kind of cool because like um, I don't know. There's this weird like I guess tribalism could be the word. There's like a tribalism deal um, with some people like about like which schools you go to and like which promotions you wrestle at and like your loyalty and things
Yeah.
like that. And some people think it's um, like when I switched training, um, like some I did get some feedback from some people that have felt like kind of disloyal to go train with another. But I mean, like at the end of the day, I'm not in like they're my boys. That's my home, and it will always be my home. But I'm not in this business to be a next level guy. Like next level, I am a next level guy. I always will be. But I'm not in it to just be a next level guy. I'm in it to be the best wrestler I can be, and that's something that at next level and at Ugly Dojo, they really train you. That like we're not trying to train you to keep you here. We're trying to train you to get you everywhere, and that's something I really appreciate about it. Because yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just weird. Like some people are very like, oh, why, you trained with this camp or whatever, and like then you switched over, and it's like, yeah, just because it felt right at the time. It felt like that would be the next natural progression.
It happens up here in Chicago too. Like I've been to
Mm,
a couple different um independents around here, and some places are extremely like that to where it's like you come to this show, you're here to see these people, don't go nowhere else. And then other ones are like, well, we wrestle here and we wrestle here and it's kind of share the love thing. But I think the tribalism in wrestling is everywhere. And I really don't
Hmm.
understand it at all because I mean, you're all trying to do the same thing and get your name out there and promote yourselves and promote each brand as much as possible. So
Yeah.
you I think the biggest thing that I don't understand about tribalism in wrestling is I think the bigger star you become, the better it helps each promotion. And the only way that works is if you get out there and you see more
Hmm.
people. So I just don't get it.
Yeah. You and me
Um,
both. But,
where do you see yourself going within both the companies you're working with?
hmm. Within the companies I'm working with, I just want to be an asset. Um, I want to be somebody that like, cause I like, I'm not a big like, not that it doesn't matter, but like where I'm at on the card or what stories I'm telling on the show, it's not really the biggest importance to me. It's the thing that matters to me is putting on a good show. Um, and whatever the promoter asks, all right, like you want me, like you want me to run this story, you want me to do this segment, like okay, let me do that at the best that I can. Rather than like I don't know. For instance, like the cage show. Initially, I was trying to get a match with one of the other like um, young newer wrestlers on the card, um, and just like a one-on-one match, like and run a basic story. And I was like, I want to lose this guy. I want to beat him 1 month, um, and then come back and because he's a shark character. His name's Jamie Shark, and it was a steel cage match. And I'm like, well, what if I? Because the previous month I was supposed to face him, and I was supposed to pretty handily beat him. Um, and like I was talking to my promoter, I'm like, it might be fun if like we have this match this month, and he and I beat him, take him out, and then the next month in the cage, um, I let him beat me and get him over, get him because he's like the underdog. He's one of the underdog characters at our company, and so I was asking for a match like that, like, and then some of the guys in my faction, we were talking about the story, and they're like, "Oh, I think you're going to be in the tag title match in the cage," because our faction had a tag title match. I was like, "Oh, okay. I mean, if that's what they want, that's what they want." Um, then like a week goes by or so, and I got a message from our champion. Um, his name is Blacklight, and he's like, "Hey, man, um, I think it's going to be me and you for the title in the cage." I'm like, "Oh, okay," because I initially was trying to get him like just a one-on-one match with like a lower card guy like myself, but then I was told I was going to be in the tag title match, and I was like, "Okay, that's fine." And then I was told I was actually going to be in the heavyweight title match. So like, yeah, like I don't care where I am on the show or what I'm doing. I just care that I do a good job and tell a story. That's what I care about is that the fans in the audience um, walk away saying, "Wow, the bad man entertained me today," um, or that they want to kill me, or they want to like come take pictures with me and buy my stuff. Like, I just that's all I care about is whatever reaction I get from them, and that the booker likes it. So, um, yeah, so it don't matter too much to me where I am on the card, especially like I mean at this point in my career, I've probably had like I mean, I've probably won like 4 or 5 matches, and then the rest are all losses. And so, I mean, and then sometimes I'll even come on the show. Like I have a faction at Next Level, the Yacht Club. So those shows, sometimes I'll show up and it's like, oh, these guys are in a match and we need you outside, and you're just gonna be outside interference. And it's like, okay, that's fine. That's what you want. Easy night for me. So, um, yeah. So if that makes sense, like I'm not
Yeah.
too like I do hope that someday I could be one of the like top guys for those companies, especially because they're companies I care about and companies I want to succeed, companies I want to help succeed. So if I can become an asset or one of those top guys for those companies, hell yeah, dude, let's roll. But even at the same time, if I'm a middle card guy or a like second match guy for the like whole time I'm with these companies, that is what it is. I'm still gonna do the best I can. So
What did the formation of the yacht club look like?
I don't know. It was around before I
Okay.
started coming to next level. Um, we have this the only original member. Actually, no, that's not true. The two original members are our manager. He's the Commodore Brentwood Sinclair, and he kind of like rocks a little bit of a Jim Cornette, like if he was a yacht guy gimmick.
Okay.
Um, and so right now, this current iteration of it, it's him, and then we got Jason Hastings, who is one of the original guys, and then me, um, one of the guys I came up with, Travis Alexander, who he's a very fast rising guy in our area. Um, so he's definitely gonna do something in the industry, that's for sure. But and then this other guy Sal, who's a Stoner U guy. He's one of the Stoner Brothers students, and he's phenomenal. He's like 7 foot tall monster. So it's cool. It's fun. The faction heel gimmick. It's I love it. Um, Whenever we come out to the ring and everybody's in our faces, flipping us off and yelling at us and stuff, and we're just eating it up. So yeah, I don't know exactly how it originated, but we're definitely having fun with it.
Okay. What was it like being a part of the group and having tag gold?
I'm sorry.
What was it like being a part of the group and having tag team gold?
Oh, we yeah, we actually only had the title for like a month, at least since I've been in it.
Hmm.
Um, we They had this like, and I wasn't in the match, but I won them the gold.
Okay.
I like telling people that because the gold was being held by Chaos Inc., who's Tony Vargas and Sin. Um, but then they had like God, I want to say it was a triple, a six. It's like 3 tag teams going for the titles,
Okay.
and it was Yacht Club, ACOC, and Chaos Inc. Um, and halfway through the match, they did a waterfall finish spot, and the only one left was Sin, who's this big, like 300-pound dude. Like, um, so I snuck in the ring behind him, clocked him with my brass knuckles, and they covered and won the titles. But then next month, um, we did Freebird rules. We do the Freebird rules with our title, just because we're the heel faction and very heelish thing to do. But the next month, me and Travis wrestled the Stoner Brothers for it, and we dropped them. Um, but yeah, so that was pretty fun. It was fun coming out with the titles, and then it was fun cheating to win the titles. So tell good stories, make the people mad.
Of course. What promotions or even wrestlers would you like to work with on the Indies?
Man, I want to get out as far as I can. Like, one of my smart goals for this year is to wrestle for. I set them in June, and by next June, I want to have wrestled for at least 8 new promotions. Um, and so far, I think I've crossed off like 2 from that list. Um, but yeah, man, I wanna wrestle for like for any different promotion. Some promotions that I have wrestled for so far, I've wrestled for Reno Wrestle Factory in Reno. Um, I've wrestled for Hood Slam in Reno. Right now, I have 2 more appearances in East Bay. I've been wrestling for them. Um, Ugly Dojo, obviously, next level. And so, like, if we're talking like goals to get to, on someday I would really like to. I said this in the last interview too, because growing up in junior high and high school, I was a big, huge into the Juggalo culture. I even still kind of am to this day. Um, uh, so if I could wrestle for JCW someday, that'd be a lot of fun. That'd be like a dream come true. Um, Back when I was a kid, going to concerts with my dad, ICP concerts with my dad and stuff, I would be exposed to the JCW. Um, and I always thought that was so cool. That insane clown posse freaking has their own wrestling promotion and stuff. So um, I think that'd be a fun one to wrestle for. But like other than that, I'm right now I'm trying to expand, like just follow as many different promotions as I can on social media and see what's out there. Because honestly, I don't even know too much of what's out there. You know, like there's so much, so many places, so much opportunity. Um, and I think that's part of the learning curve is like finding those different promotions and stuff. Um, like you said, you're from Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's what like someday I wanna wrestle in Chicago. Someday I want to wrestle in Texas. I want to wrestle in New York. Like um, just expand, like travel. Um, so yeah, um, and then people on the indie scene I would love to wrestle. Um, I had a squash match with this with Matthias. He's this SoCal dude. He's been doing some really cool stuff. I'd love to have an actual match with him someday. That'd be cool. Um, and then man, there's so many guys I like. Um, I think it'd be cool to meet. Whether I wrestle him or not, I think it'd be cool to meet like Ben Bishop. He's a cool dude.
I've met
I
him.
love
He's
everything he does
hilarious.
on social media and stuff, and like um, yeah, and just the way he pushes other people and stuff, like even past the comedy part, like he's a cool guy. So that'd be a cool one um, to meet someday or wrestle someday. Um, and then and then obviously like just keep meeting and wrestling guys from my area, just because there's so much like the NorCal indie scene right now is like, in my opinion, it's on fire. Like there's so many cool guys like that would just be an honor to work with. Like um, you got like Jaya Jules, Illumide, um, um, I'm about to wrestle Lo Devereaux, which that's one I've been really looking forward to. Um, yeah, so I mean, there's so many different promotions and so much different like guys I'd love to wrestle. It's kind of hard to like name them all,
Yeah,
but
I get you.
now that you've asked that though, I think I'll start doing that. I think I'll start like actually being intentional about like who are people I would like to face someday, like or to work with someday. Um, and maybe make like a list or something.
Okay, like Cody did.
Did he do that?
Yeah, like whenever he first went on the indies, it was online a lot. But whenever he left WWE the first time and he went on the indies, he made this list and posted on social media, and it was just like a bunch of top notch or top tier independent talent. And like,
Okay.
I mean, on the list was like, I believe like Roderick Strong and Adam Cole
Hmm.
and Mike Bennett, just to name a couple. I think Osprey was on there too, but like it was a long list of just, and it went viral. And he ended up checking a lot of the names off the list, which is cool. But it's something that I've seen a lot of other people like kind of, I don't want to say copy because it has like a negative connotation, but copy it in a good way.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense.
This whole industry is built on copying.
Well, like
There's
I've done it as a podcaster. Like I've went and I've made a
hmm
list of all the guys I'd eventually like, guys and girls, I should say, that I'd eventually like to get on the podcast, and slowly just checking them off. And I add names all the time, and then if I sometimes I've taken names off because you get to like you meet a person in real life and you're like, okay, that guy or girl's not what I
hmm
expected at all, so I'm good on that conversation. Like I don't need that one. But I hate to say they're goals because like goals, I mean for me for instance is just like okay, I want to get like that the silver YouTube plaque. That would be cool. Or get,
hmm
so much money or views on Spotify or things like that. Not like okay, I want to talk to this person or this person because those will come naturally. So like I hate to call it a goal list, but it kind of is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it.
Um, who would you say like are your biggest dream matches? Like if you could have a match right now today with anybody, um, on any card, who would that be?
If we're saying anybody, um, shoot, man, I would love to wrestle like like an Austin Theory. Like he's one
Okay,
of my favorite heels right now. I would love to wrestle Austin Theory or like MJF. Just like
okay,
the those are two examples of like my favorite heels at the moment. I
they're
just
they're
think they're both
perfect.
so good at what they do. Um, it wouldn't be like well if I'm working heel character as well, it probably wouldn't be the best match, but like it would be awesome. Plus, they're both two guys that don't necessarily rely too much. I think they both like kind of wrestle a lot closer to my style of wrestling anyway. Um, I don't um, I don't do like I try to be let me like say it that way because it doesn't always work. But I try to be more like slow with what I do
Okay,
and focus more on like I don't know, kind of like I'm picking on my opponent. Like I watch a lot of
like
Randy Orton,
I was gonna say, kind of
and the
methodical, like
way
Orton.
yes, the that's what I'm trying to work on and trying to get across. Sometimes I do a good job about it, sometimes not so much. Um, but I think that those are also two guys that like can really work well with that style. They don't rely so much on like let's do the craziest spots and like um, they care more about getting the fans to react and be pissed off at them, which is kind of like what I go for as well. Like I care more that the fans are mad at me for what I'm doing than they are impressed with what I'm doing, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Two more questions, then I'll let you go.
yeah,
One, you mentioned one goal earlier, but if you had to, set three goals for yourself to achieve within the next, calendar year, what would those three goals be?
Yeah, I already did actually. So yeah, the goals that I've set for this calendar year, um, I'm trying to really focus on my my social media presence and trying to really grow that and learn um, how to be successful on social media. So one
Oh,
of my big goals for this next year is to get 1,000 followers on Instagram.
okay.
Um, I've grown quite a bit, but I'm still like I'm so like so new and I don't under like I'm still learning the social media thing. So right now I'm floating at I think like 560. Um, but which is still crazy because even a couple months ago it was at like 300, 400. So um, it's been growing steadily. So just continuing to learn that. Yeah, so that's my one of my goals for this year. Um, I feel like it's achievable, and that's another thing. I try to set goals that are achievable, not necessarily that I'm gonna crush, but that are like achievable enough that like there is room um
Okay. To
to
overachieve
overshoot.
a little bit.
Yeah, so um yeah, that's one of them. Uh like I said before, I want to wrestle for 8 new promotions, and I'm gonna add to that. Um I want at least one of them to be outside of like I want to have to travel for like one of them. Outside the state, outside of California, um,
Okay.
and Reno, like, because like, I mean, that almost feels like California still. So, but so yeah, I want to wrestle somewhere outside of the California area, um, and my other one that I have set is private, so I'll keep that to myself. But another one, I just I just want to get better. I just want to keep getting better. I want to be able to watch my match like from a year from today compared to my match from last week and just be a completely different wrestler. I want this guy here in a year from now to be somebody that like I would sit down and watch on TV like if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So cuz I mean, yeah, I'd go to an indie show to see me. Um but I don't know if I would like watch me on TV. So
Okay.
um but yeah, so I think those are my goals. Just different promotions and wrestle outside of California, 1,000 followers on social media, and then to just continue. I mean, it's not really a goal because it's not like a exact. I think,
It makes sense.
but
It
yeah,
reminds me
just
of I'm gonna paraphrase it, but it's a Matthew McConaughey quote. He kind of says something along the lines of I look up to me, but me 10 years from now, because in reality he
mm,
knows you'll never be able to reach that goal because you 10 years from now is gonna want to be you 10 years from that, and
yeah,
so on and so forth. So like that as a goal makes a lot of sense because I mean it's the one goal that technically will always be unachievable because it never stops,
yeah,
which I love that goal. Like that's one that like I always put it's like the honorable mention on my goal list because I'll never achieve that goal, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Um but I like how you said like you just want to be able to go back and look at yourself from a year from now and be able to watch that match saying, okay, I've improved this much. I've gotten this much better. Like that's a good thing to like recognize personal growth, if that makes sense.
hmm
Um, you mentioned earlier, being at shows and maybe your family being in the crowd and things like that. What's it like for you as a dad being able to perform in front of your son?
Oh man, that's cool. That's so like Um, it's almost like bittersweet because like he'll like
First off, how old is he? Before,
he's 7.
okay,
Um,
so he understands a little bit.
but yeah, so he I mean he'll watch me and like I don't know. I think he thinks I'm one of the strongest people he knows, and he thinks like I could beat up a lot of people and stuff. It's like, well, I'm not. It's not real, dude. You know that. But so it's kind of cool because like there's like so many different factors because like sometimes I almost feel bad, like because growing up in the like with somebody in the business, being close to somebody in the business, it kind of takes away some of the magic. I feel like. Because like when I was growing up, I didn't have like somebody showing me how they do it without actually doing it, or like I didn't have somebody telling me like, oh, this is how they do that, so that it doesn't like actually hurt. Like, I mean, yeah, it hurts, but it doesn't actually like injure anybody.
Yeah.
Um, and so like for him, like we were at a show. It was before I was like debuted. Um, it was one of our. It was the Cage show a couple years back, and he one of the wrestlers hit somebody with a bottle um, and shattered the bottle on him and stuff, and like the glass flew everywhere. And there's a kid sitting next to my son, and my son looks at him and says, "Oh, don't worry, it's sugar glass." And I'm like, "You can't do that!" Like I had to like pull the side, but like, you can't tell people that, dude. Like,
That's
um,
hilarious.
because like I tell him stuff like that because like I don't want him to think like, oh, dad's
You're
gonna get
killing
hurt.
each
Not that I
other.
do anything like I don't do anything crazy, and I don't plan to do any like death match stuff or anything anytime soon. But I mean, like I don't know. When I take a chair shot, I don't want him to be like scared. You know, I want him
Yeah.
to be understanding. Like my dad knows how to do this, and he'll be okay. Um, so yeah, he definitely sees behind the curtain a little bit, which is also fun. Like he like goes to practices. He was going to practice. He was a little bit of a distraction, so I stopped bringing him to practice. But like he would go to practice and he'd get in the ring and practice with us, and even at home, like I'm showing him chain holds and stuff, and like um, we'll watch wrestling, and um, he'll be like, "Oh, that's like what you do, Dad," things like that. When you see somebody do a move I do, um, so yeah, it's really cool. It's a cool way to bond too. I didn't have that growing up. Like like I said before, I watched it with my grandpa, but that's like vague memory. Um, I didn't really have any like father figures or anything like in my life that were like into wrestling. Um, so I didn't have that bonding. I bonded with my best friends about it, but not like not father son bonding. So it's really cool to be able to do that now. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's a blast, dude. Um, he'll go to the shows and he'll help out with ring crew and like our last we did a show a couple last month, and he's like getting in the truck and helping us like unload the beams and stuff, and um, like he's excited to help out and stuff. So that's it's cool. It's fun. Um,
It's amazing.
but yeah.
Really cool. Are you ready for the moment? I don't know if schools still do this, but whenever it's career day time and your son gets to go and say, "Well, my dad's a wrestler."
Oh, dude, that would be so funny. Like I feel like even now he like when he tells people like it's kind of like oh yeah, sure, like
Yeah, of course.
which
They're like, my dad's
but
a teacher or whatever, and he's like, "Well, my dad's a wrestler."
my my wife is she's a teacher, and her school does these like fundraisers things, like auction fundraisers,
Yeah,
and she's talking about auctioning me off as like like a lunch with a wrestler thing or something. And I'm
it
like,
would
I
work.
don't know if I want to do that,
That's a good
but yeah.
idea.
So um the family support is so nice because not everybody has that in the wrestling industry. Um, a lot of people, like most of my family, when I told them I was doing this, they looked at me and said, "Well, it's about time." Like, um, and my wife and kid are both into it. I I, I mess with my wife because she's not she's not a wrestling fan.
Mhm.
She enjoys watching it sometimes, but she's not a fan. She's not. It's not her thing.
Yeah,
Um, but I give her crap all the time because she comes to the brewery shows I do it for the Ugly Dojo. She comes to those, and she's a total mark. Like her and her friends are in the audience, and they're the type of fans that are like constantly heckling and
I love it.
like cat calling and stuff like that. And so I'm at the merch table behind watching her. And I'm just like, I look at my buddies. I'm like, dude, she's total mark. Like, and so it's fun. It's fun having the family support aspect because and it's definitely something I do not take for granted. Just because so many guys don't have that. Um, but yeah, my wife's supportive. My son, like, he thinks it's the coolest thing. Like, so yeah, I think that definitely, if I didn't, I probably wouldn't pursue it as hard as I would if I didn't have them as supportive as they are. You know?
Of course. Yeah, I can agree. I mean, there was a lot of people when I started doing the podcast who were like, "Are you sure? Like, is anybody gonna watch it?" And then, but there was like people like my dad, for instance. It was his idea. He was like, "Justin, you go do this," and things like that. So, and seeing it evolve, and I'm sure it goes the same way with you as your character evolves, as your career progresses. People get more supportive because it's real at this point. So, it's just
Mm-hmm.
cool to hear that. I mean, you're able to have the support at home and from your peers and things like that, especially in a sport that it can be tough to get support, if that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
because it's very cutthroat in some ways. And um, wrestling's always been one of those things that's kind of like feels taboo, or like it's always like there's a lot more closeted wrestling fans than there are out there
Yep.
open wrestling fans. And the one thing I like, especially in today's era, is it seems like the closet door is finally opening, and it's okay now to be a wrestler and to be a fan and to enjoy wrestling. So I'm just glad to hear that you get that even from, like I said, your family and peers alike. Before we go, I know we did it at the beginning of the podcast. Do you want to shout out your social medias one more time just to let them know where to check you out at?
Yeah, man. Once again, yeah, my social medias are Badman Eric, sorry, Badman Pro Wrestler, and those my mains are TikTok and Instagram. Um, and then yeah, um, yeah,
Eric, thank you so much for joining me. If you ever want to come back on for part two, I'd love to do a follow up, catch up, see how those goals are going, things like that. And I'd love to hear some more about your story.
absolutely, man. Anytime.
Okay, I will leave this off at see you next time then.
All right. See you next time.